Before we ever had opinions about our bodies, we listened. Quietly. Constantly. As children, we don't question what we hear. We absorb it. The way our parents talked about their own bodies became the background noise of our childhood. A mother standing in front of the mirror, pulling at her stomach. A father commenting on weight as if it were a moral issue. Casual remarks at the dinner table that seemed harmless at the time. I shouldn't eat this. I look terrible today. She's gained so much weight. They didn't need to say these things to us directly. Our brains were still forming. We were learning what it meant to exist in a body. When a parent dislikes their body, the child learns that bodies are something to fight against. When a parent judges other people's appearance, the child learns that love might be conditional, that acceptance can be taken away, that being smaller, thinner, or different might be safer. Most parents never intended to pass this on. They were fighting battles with themselves. But children don't have the ability to separate someone else's pain from their own identity. So the voice stayed. It grew louder over time. It followed us into adolescence, into adulthood, into mirrors and dressing rooms and quiet moments alone. But here's the important part. That voice is learned, and anything learned can be unlearned. You are not broken. You were taught. And understanding that is the first step toward changing the conversation inside your own mind. Chapter 2. When Perfection Became Invisible. Perfection used to be obvious. Now it hides in plain sight. We live in a world where edited images look natural. Skin has no pores. Bodies curve unrealistically. Lighting removes shadows that make us human, and because editing is invisible, our brains assume what we see is real. We scroll without thinking, and slowly, quietly, our sense of normal changes. Real bodies start to feel inadequate. Real skin feels wrong. Natural variation feels like failure. This comparison doesn't shout, it whispers. It shows up as discomfort when you see your reflection, as the feeling that you should look different, but you're not sure why. The danger isn't wanting to look good. The danger is comparing a living body to something that doesn't exist in real life. No body was designed to compete with software. Your body responds to stress, rest, joy, aging, hormones, and life itself. That is not a flaw. That is proof that it's alive. When you start questioning the images instead of yourself, something shifts. Shame loses its authority. You realize the standard was artificial, not you. Chapter 3. First Intimacy, First Impressions. For many people, body insecurity didn't begin in childhood. It began with intimacy. The first person who saw you fully, the first person whose desire mattered to you. Those early experiences leave marks, especially when they're confusing or painful. If someone appreciated your body, you learned safety. If they criticized it, compared it, or withdrew affection, you learned something else, that your body might be the reason love disappears. When rejection hurts, the mind looks for something concrete to blame, and the body is easy. You can see it, measure it, try to change it. But someone else's inability to love deeply was never proof that your body was wrong. It was proof of their limitation. Many people carry shame that doesn't belong to them. They're trying to heal wounds that were created in moments where they were vulnerable and trusting. Your body did not fail you. It was present. It was open. It was human. Chapter 4. The Way We Judge Others. Pay attention to the first thing you notice when you judge someone. Is it their weight? Their skin? Their age? Their body? The things we reach for when we judge others are often the same places we hurt ourselves.
When we insult appearance, it usually comes from fear of being judged the same way. Judgment doesn't make you a bad person. It makes you human in a culture that constantly ranks bodies. But awareness gives you choice. Each time you notice judgment, you can pause and ask, what am I protecting? What am I afraid of? Over time, compassion grows, not just for others, but for yourself. Chapter 5. The Quiet Influence of Friends. Your environment shapes you more than motivation ever will. Friends influence how you treat your body, not only through words, but through behavior. Skipping meals, obsessing over weight, treating exhaustion like success, laughing off self-hatred as humor. When these patterns surround you, they begin to feel normal. This doesn't mean your friends are toxic. It means habits spread quietly. And healing often requires awareness of what you're absorbing. Sometimes, growth means choosing relationships that allow rest, softness, and honesty, not perfection. Chapter 6. What you feed your mind. Media is a diet. Every book, show, account, and video teaches you something about what matters, about what's desirable, about who gets loved. If the bodies you see represented are always thin, young, edited, and praised, your brain learns that this is the standard, even if it's unrealistic. Curating your media isn't weakness, it's self-respect. You deserve to see bodies like yours living full, meaningful lives. Chapter 7. Culture, Food, and the Weight of Tradition. Food is more than calories or nutrients. It is memory, it is celebration, it is comfort. It is the language of family, the glue of tradition, the centerpiece of gatherings. And because food is so tightly woven into culture, our early experiences with it leave a lasting imprint on how we feel about our bodies. Many of us grew up hearing comments that were never meant to harm, but which stayed with us anyway. Don't eat too much, you'll get fat. You've gained weight since last year. When I was your age, I never ate that. These words can seem harmless in the moment, yet they quietly teach children that bodies are worth judging, that pleasure can be dangerous, and that love might be conditional. Even more subtly, cultural expectations shape the way we see ourselves. Certain body types are celebrated, others quietly stigmatized. Some foods are good, others bad. We internalize these messages before we even understand what health means. But the truth is, your body was never meant to represent anyone's ideals. It was meant to keep you alive, moving, thinking, and feeling. It deserves nourishment, yes, but not guilt. It deserves culture, family, joy, and flavor. Emotional eating and food shame do not define your character or your worth. Learning to honor your body means honoring the cultural stories you grew up with, while giving yourself permission to rewrite them in ways that serve your health, joy, and self-respect. Chapter 8. Love Beyond Skin. Most people learn early that love is tied to appearance. We are socialized to believe that attractiveness equals value, that desirability is a condition for affection. But love, the real, deep, sustaining kind, doesn't measure bodies in inches or weight. When you've experienced a connection where your body is not the main focus, when someone appreciates your voice, your laugh, your intellect, and your presence, everything shifts. You begin to understand that bodies are not commodities. They are vessels, not currency. Love that insists on change first, on a different shape or size, is not love. It is conditional approval, and it cannot last. And yet, even after experiencing such love, societal messages can sneak back in. We hear jokes about weight, scrolling feeds of edited images, or whispers from the past echoing in our minds. Our challenge is to carry the knowledge of unconditional love with us, to use it as armor against messages that tell us our bodies are inadequate. This chapter is about learning that love is a guide, not a threat. It is about trusting that you can be fully seen, fully appreciated, and fully loved as you are in a body that is perfect for the life you are living. Chapter 9. Fitness without punishment. Movement is sacred. It is a celebration of what your body can do, not a punishment for what it is. For many, exercise becomes a transaction: burn calories, lose weight, sculpt a different self. But this transactional mindset disconnects us from joy and life. Fitness can be joyful. Running through the park, stretching at sunrise, dancing in your living room, swimming in a lake, all of these are reminders that our bodies were made to move. Movement increases